Supernaturals, scary creatures like vampires, werewolves, demons, ghosts, and monsters that we all fear. These monsters happen to be friends with a specific man, Guillermo Del Toro, who is a Mexican director, producer, filmmaker, screenwriter, and an actor. He said in an interview that he feared monsters when he was young until he decided to not fear them anymore and befriend them and then show them to the world throughout filmmaking. He attended the University of Guadalajara before he created his first film, Kronos, in 1993, which won an array of honors, including 8 Mexican awards from the Mexican Academy of Films. His first big break in the US, however, was with The Mimic in 1997, followed by different other movies like Crimson Peak, Blade II, and Pacific Crime. Del Toro had his own view of monsters as he explained in an interview.
I actually think they have multiple values depending on how you use them. They are symbols of great power. I think that at some point when we became thinking creatures, we decided to interpret the world by creating a mythology of gods and monsters. You know, we created angels, we created demons, we created serpents devouring the moon. We created a mythology to make sense of the world around us. And monsters were born at the same time that angels or any of the beatific creatures and characters were created. So I don't assign them a specific value, but I am very mindful of the way I deal with them in the movies and in the books, because I assign them a specific function and I try to take them to the extreme with that. You know, I make them victims, or I make them sympathetic, or I make them brutal parasites, and they become a metaphor for something else. Obviously, monsters are living, breathing metaphors that for
Thanks to Del Toro's creative perspective of monsters, he won several awards and became a great role model for many people who loved horror and gothic stories. One of his most successful work is a story that combines both monsters and romantic fairy tales together in the 2017 science fiction movie The Shape of Water, which was nominated for 7 nominations for the year's Golden Globe, producing a win for Del Toro in the category of Best Director. The film was also nominated for Academy Awards and claimed 4 Oscar wins. Apparently, Del Toro has a great influence on people in the cinematic industry as he represented monsters in a rather interesting way. He showed the monsters as sympathetic creatures despite how ugly and scary they look like, similarly to how he characterized the Hellboy.
I wish I could do something about this. I can't. I can promise you 2 things. 1, I'll always look this good. And 2, I'll never give up on you. Ever.
Del Toro loves horror themes and monsters so much that he decided to create his own dream house and called it the Bleak House, which is a house of horrors. Since both his wife and his children find the place too scary, he only uses the house for work purposes and to gather a collection the filmmaker has started since childhood. The house has over 10,000 copies of souvenirs, books, comic strips, and curiosities related to horror and science fiction. Every corner of the Bleak House is filled with horror movie memorabilia, props from his past movies, life-size recreation of offbeat film characters, and the Lovecraftian nightmarish creatures. The collection is so big that Del Toro had to buy 2 buildings for the Bleak House, and it is as wonderful as all of his movies. He also has invited people to come in and see the house and have some tours in it to see the great work that he has accomplished. At last, just a little surprise that we think that Del Toro might approve of.
يلا ينعل ابو اللي جابك يا ابن الكلب.